Hello, everyone. This is Kev, and this is Black Man Being Brutally Honest. Oh, okay. And I see that everyone is on tonight. Wow. And when I am on, I am everybody. So you'll all realize that soon. But till that day, I have a chance to just talk to you. How you doing tonight? How's your week been? Hopefully you had a great week, and hopefully you have another great week moving forward. And as always, long live the habitual line steppers. Welcome to another Sunday here on BMBBH. And I have a really good show playing tonight. Called it the default to the nigga settings. So while we while I do a little preparation, we'll just make a little small talk here. Um, Prepare some things. It was a very busy day for me. I know that's not an excuse because I'm trying to get to the point where I want YouTube to be what's keeping me busy. But until that day, we got things going on. Yeah. So let's see here. Just gonna ask you guys to be patient with me tonight, and we are sure to have another great one. Last night was pretty good. That show was called "Thank You, Black People." R.I.P. to the good black man, and I meant it in sort of a indirect way. I didn't literally mean R.I.P. to the good black man because I most certainly don't think so. Um, let me see. But here's the thing. I want to explain this several times throughout the broadcast. You have a settings menu on your devices. So on your TV, on your game consoles, on your cell phones, and there's a default setting. Usually, the default setting is returning it to its factory condition. If anything should ever happen to your data. Um, what if humans had those kinds of settings? What if humans had those kinds of settings? And tell you, we going I'm gonna try to make this interesting. If I'm not making it interesting, hey, I promised a chat member who is now moderator Harambe that we're gonna keep it brutally honest around here. So we're gonna create that kind of environment, and we're also gonna be masters of ourselves as well, especially when you step onto platforms that the habitual line steppers represent. We got to be masters of control. You got to do it smart. You have to outwit people. Can't just do things like power stroke or anything, only when it's necessary. But if you have an invader of the space, you definitely have to learn how to defend it efficiently. Now, spam trolls, of course, get rid of them, block them from the channel, block them completely. The spam trolls, but if it's somebody that's known in the space, let's give them a chance to breathe. There's only a couple of people I would time out immediately, but I make that decision. No one else does. So, just for the ones who rocking with me right now, that could be more of an exclusive message, and for those of you who are going to uh, catch the replay or press on the thumbnail in your suggested videos, then that's the understanding around here. I'm generally saying this because I want everyone to understand that they are welcome to this environment, and I want this environment to be a bit more worry free from here on out, and to make sure that we're always careful in what we say. There's going to be, yeah, careful would contradict brutally honest. But you can be brutally honest and not be a uh, complete piece of shit. I'll say that. Yeah, I've said things about that before. People using certain labels to just say what they want and not being responsible with it. Brutally honest means that you have to be absolutely as factual as possible, without remorse for the feelings of the person on the other side. That's what it actually means. I don't. I practice that, but I practice that in its most mild form on this channel. I haven't been approached by someone extremely stupid yet. I would say that, and I mean and I mean that in the most factual way. Yeah, somebody's out there like stupid is subjective, and then I'm like, I know, but still, some of these opinions around here, you don't know where they come from. It's like it just has you scratching your head, and then some of them be so puzzling to the point where you say, "F it, I don't even want to waste my time with it," and that's just what it is. So anyway, what if humans had the same kind of settings that a device had? The default setting. You could go in your settings and change the default settings to something else. It could be within an application. You know, Sometimes when they have browsers on your cell phone, they ask you to make it. Do you want to make Google Chrome your default browser? Okay, so what I mean by humans is okay. What if people had settings just like that? What I'm saying is, it seems for us melanated, when things get emotionally and mentally tough, we default to the nigga set. Now I know people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, why is he talking about our people like that?" And I mean, I would probably come back at you with, "Oh, so you're perfect. You're saying talking about our people." I've heard black people denigrated by every archetype of black person in some way, shape, or form at some point or another in my life. And no, not all of them are in my family. Different folks. I've interacted with many, many people all throughout my years. And let me tell you something. There's a lot of bad consistencies when it comes to us. It's a lot of good consistencies. We are trendsetters, of course. Nobody knows, no race knows how to introduce and maintain styles and set the coolest shit better than black people. And I think for those of you in 2021 that think that everything is new, I think that you should know that, and you should take a lot more pride in your people. Instead of signing up for shit that doesn't benefit us, sign up for the shit that does. But we default to our nigga setting. I'm gonna tell you a little bit something about me. It's kind of confession time. The reason why I do this, um, to put a black man's perspective out there. But my brutally honest feeling really came from, it really is coming from dealing with not only uh, white folks that I knew were kind of racist, and kind of racist means racist, and dealing with black people who didn't like me because of other reasons. Not that I was being an asshole or anything, but it's like when you a person that carries yourself like you don't care how people look at you because of the way you talk and the way you carry yourself, it often is met with resistance by others. Like if you use complete sentences, they give that kind of, and I know I'm kind of in the theme of what I was talking about last night, as far as the ripping away the ripping away the good black man from our our culture and rejecting the man that is like that. Some of you will even ask yourselves, "What's a good black man?" I'm telling you, it's because of black people who have defaulted to the nigga setting. That's it. When you are constantly rejected by your community, why the fuck would you want to stay? And yes, it does weaken the community. It does. I just chose to stay. I can't speak as one of those guys. I can say I've pretty much experienced a handful of each in everything. Except for a few things, of course. Not everything, not 100%, but a good bit, a good bit, a good bit, a good bit. Just is like it causes conflict. It causes conflict. Say you're the guy that always gets teased. You're not the smoothest with the ladies. Like you get teased because and not like tease, but I will say I will use a more adult term, busting your balls. People bust your balls because um, you'll probably scream out something and then they'll do some off brand impression like oh my god, oh look it's me, it's Kevin, yeah, oh. And even though I don't nearly talk like that, the fact that I wore glasses, it'd be that basic. I wear glasses, and I say complete sentences. I must be a nerd. Because guess what? Because guess what? Because how should I put it? They think those kinds of distinguishments only belong to what the way like I said, two of the most basic things: me wearing glasses and me being able to say complete sentences that you can understand. They think those things by default only are normal on a white man, which is an insult because I would say that it was a part of American culture. I mean, it's childish nonsense. Really, it really is. It's childish nonsense. But hey, I've been dealing with it all my life, and am I mad at black people for it? Kinda. I'm kind of mad, which means still mad. I get those "you mad" memes. You mad? Huh? You mad? Oh yeah, that's defaulting to a nigga setting too. You know, I'll talk about all of this. It's my spin on it. It's what I believe from what I've observed. I'm pulling from what I've observed. So you can take it with a grain of salt. You have that choice. Here's another choice you can make. You can go ahead and press that like button as you walk into the broadcast if you haven't already. And if it's your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. And this channel is named Black Men Being Brutally Honest, and that is the intent. It was named for a Facebook group because, of course, when you have when it's thousands of people, it's not just about me. It's just about it's about it's about forming a community within a supposed community. I would say that was my original intent. To bring together the two mentalities to try to work some shit out. It wasn't really for, I mean, we have to talk to the women, of course, but it really wasn't for the women to come in and, you know, do any kind of disruption. I mean, I didn't push it that way. I wanted everyone to communicate. I wanted everyone to be part of the process. But when you have not enough, trying to be a level-headed black person, when you have a lot of people that default to the nigga said things combust. I named it Black Men because I felt as if black men should have led the place. Period. I mean, I made it. I made the group. But it was like much of the same shit I faced growing up that went on in that group. Just nobody, everybody just wants to fuck around and play, and Act like they have to be at each other's throats, whether it be by gender or class or anything. It's mostly by gender. The whole is a sexual frustration conflict between many parties. And many people have said that, hey, Kev, you got to be accountable for that. You put that together, man. No, I ain't got to be accountable for niggas. That environment that I created is the environment that Harambe asked for. And if I were you guys, I would proceed with caution. It'll be crazy. It'll be crazy. It'll be fun, but it's like people. The problem with this shit is people take shit to heart too much. That's one thing I learned. People take things to heart a little bit too much, and then that's when you have the whole beefing and the doxing and trying to humiliate someone. You know, in rare cases, pulling up, and I don't want that environment. So the environment I had, on another platform was I pretty much did away with everyone that was like that. I don't want doxing. I don't want you talking about people's families, people's kids, stalking people in message boxes. I had it wound tight in there. But see, here's the thing. It was almost like trying to create the perfect matrix. If anybody, I know everybody's like, "Hey, bring it the matrix." Oh no, red pill, blue pill. No, the Matrix. They said the first Matrix was like I will say a perfect world. Now, a perfect world in my eyes is basically everybody being able to speak freely and be free and have fun with it. If you want to roast each other, don't at the end of the day, don't take it personal. I'm talking about roasting, and then I was saying you don't have to be disrespectful. Here's the thing: people have to stay on each other. They have to stay on each other. They can't go outside and go for someone's kid or go for someone's grandmother or something like that, or go somebody's sick relative that picture they post on Facebook. That's the kind of sick shit that people will pull. And when they did it, they were gone. I just flick like a little fly. Just get out of the fucking group. I just didn't want to breed that kind of environment, and people came for me because of that. A lot of people came for me because of that. See, here's a nigga setting right here. When you try to discuss something with someone, but they'll just go with the lie and the fabrication anyway. They don't want to discuss it with you. How did have any of you ever been in a conversation with another black person? Now we like for all this race loyalty shit that everybody talks. Once it once it becomes a conversation where a person disagrees, it could be one of two ways. Either it's a back and forth, or you're just ignored and dismissed, which is very disrespectful. And the people that most likely do that are black folks to each other because you philosophically disagree. Drives me nuts. You know why? Because usually the other person on the other side is right, and it's not. And whatever it doesn't have to be demeaning to blacks. It doesn't. It could be it could be some simple shit. Like, Lizzo doesn't. It could be a debate about Lizzo or some shit like that. Like, Lizzo don't need to show her naked body. Seriously. Like, she's basically naked just 99% of the time she goes out in public. People can't turn around and say, why won't you let her live? When she's putting it in the public eye. So I mean, that's a really bad argument. That's the kind of argument that I feel like that you're turning your back on the person across from you. You're turning your backs on fact, and you don't have to be factual to be a nigga. The thing is, the nigga setting derives from WS. The N word with the hard R. We used to have something that we used to say to each other back in the day. Oh man, you what the white man wants you to be. You doing what the white folks want you to do. You acting how they want to act. And I've even said stuff like that in present day. I was like, damn, they shit. WS ain't got to do shit no more. Nothing. They can just sit back and watch. We've been so indoctrinated to the point, yeah, that we call ourselves the N word and think that and think for some reason that that's some kind of reclaiming. Like I mean, like that's the question. Or wait a minute. That's the conversation that we're not ready for yet. A word we got from them to demoralize us for centuries, and we act like we reclaimed it because we can put it on television and in our music. Fuck out of here. But you know what though? I'm gonna use it tonight. If you want to go with the whole narrative of we earned that word, I mean, we probably did. Probably did. So I get it. So you can't say that word no more. We're getting away from that. We're getting away from that. Tyson Fury, the guy who just beat Deontay Wilder, he just used the N word. He was rapping a song by a black man that used the N word. And then usually that's their excuse, but ain't no social media outrage or none of that shit. I think Tariq said something about it. Shoot. You guys. You guys watching are awesome. You guys subscribed are awesome too. The habitual line steppers are beyond awesome. But there's a lot of us out here that just don't get it, man. I mean, you gotta wonder why reality television shows, media that's demoralizing the black people, exist at such a massively popular status. Tell you something. You ever heard somebody say that with certain things that people are more comfortable with white folks doing it than black people? I made the mistake a long time ago of going on a job, and it was a mistake, even though it was brutally honest. I've been like this consistently for years, and it was to my detriment, like professionally, a couple of times. But I wouldn't take it back, not at all. I told the staff, "You're more comfortable with that white man being in charge." A bunch of grown black men. I stood in front of them and said that shit. I tell you the truth, before I left that place of employment, I don't know how many knives were in my back because I gave all of them jobs when the others didn't want to. All because those guys defaulted to the nigga setting. When they saw somebody like me, they saw a weirdo. I'm just telling the truth. Telling the truth. I was somebody that a white man gave a job to. That's what they saw me as. And you know what they did with that white man? They went to them, shook his hand, looked in his eye with a gleam. "Hey, boss." "Yeah." but they resented the fuck out of me. And I mean, like, I took it every fucking day because I mean, shit. I mean, it was, how, shit, gotta make money, gotta pay bills, shit like that. But I didn't mistreat those guys. I gave them every chance in the world. You can't ask for like two raises in like a month unless you just like the shit. Plus, that particular company was fucked up anyway. That's why you got brothers on this platform trying to encourage black men to not directly because of stuff like that. I mean, but yeah, kind of directly because of stuff like that. Just telling black men to go ahead and there's things that you can do to take control of your life, especially at an early age, so you don't have to go down paths like that, dealing with your people. And that's a shame that I have to say that, but it has to be said at some point. And I know some people had that experience of that you have a senior position and you have to deal with too many of your people. I'm not saying that nobody else don't do you like that, because people love to try to straw man you. You saying white people don't stab you? I mean, yeah, they orchestrate that kind of shit. So I know their involvement, but they play chess. Them dudes play checkers, and they fell right into it. I knew everything was going on. I mean, like, I was just like, man, you know what? That's what I get for helping. Would I say I was a bit bitter after that? Yeah, for a while. But it was shit that I always experienced all my life when I got around other blacks. Um, I would like, and I don't hate my people. I don't. I love my people. I want to see our people heal. I really do. I mean, true healing, not that shit you trying to sell to someone in a book or. I mean, now books are okay. It's cool. I'm not taking any swipes at anybody. I'm not taking any swipes, but just it's like strength from within. People say I iron sharpens iron, stuff like that. And I mean, that's cool. It's great. It's true. That's something you can't argue with as a man. But I also go by something called strength from within. That's when you know that you can't rely on anyone but yourself. And sometimes that's tough. That's tough. Knowing that in certain periods in your life, you can feel that after everything that you and your people had been through in this country, that it started to boil down to that. Respecting another group of people over respecting your own. And older people know this. And some of you are like, well, why did they let it happen? And then I will tell you, why are you letting it happen? Shoot, people need to learn how to take personal responsibility. That's part of that strength from within. See, I don't think I was born with a nigga setting. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell the truth. It's nothing that I resent. I wasn't born with one, and a lot of people can see that. Dudes used to say, make little cracks. Man, Kel, we ain't gonna let that hood out. I say, it's like, look, man, it's just not me. Shit, I'm sorry. Why do I have to be hood in order to be accepted as black or whatever? See, a lot of people say that people like me think that I'm better than the hood people. People like me have the perception that the hood people think they're blacker than me. See, that's the problem. I don't think I'm better than hood people. Well, I mean, if you go around with your pants hanging down and you believe in robbing people, yeah, I'm much better than you. Or believe that broken English language is how you identify with being black, as well as being violent. Like I told you about the stupid kid about I interacted with some years ago, and he was telling he punched this dude in the mouth, and And his statement was, he made the black come out of me. That's what I mean by nigga settings. When you associate being black with ignorance, like raising your voice or something like that, or fighting, or popping your neck, or wearing a bonnet. Saggy pants. I already said something about saggy pants. See, some of you listening out there, y'all got that nigga setting on to the point where you tune out everything a person is trying to say and only pick out the things you want to hear. Some people will probably do that, in the replay. Live watchers, you guys are a special bunch. Like we do that all the time. We'll tune out everything that a person is trying to say just for very superficial, stanky reasons, like, oh, we don't like that person. You know, I could say something like, tonight just went to shit, and then they tune out everything and say he said shit, he cursed, god damn it. Like, it's that basic. Deflection, conversation dodging, stuff like that. And then we go to spaces that we're comfortable with without proper dialogue, and we start to cut down the other side. How is that ever going to work? Why are people worried about who they believe is better than them? I mean, everybody's supposed to think they're better than everybody. What are you talking about? Everybody. Shit. You guys out there are supposed to think you're better than me. Why would I take offense to it and associate it with my race? He think he's better than us. You ever heard somebody say that? Oh, he just learned or she just learned that they a nigga. That's shit fucked up too. Like, I'm just gonna talk about what I believe is fucked up. you know, we get so pissed, and a lot of people say this, and it's still no excuse for white folks. Do not ever give a white person an N-word pass. Ever. Don't do it. Don't ever do it. Some will try you. Don't do it. Check their asses at the door. Kick them in the balls. Do whatever you got to do. Smack the face off. I'm not inciting violence. There's consequences to doing such. But don't give them N-word passes out. But you know what the nigga said does? A lot of these old hood dudes, and I've seen this before. I've seen this before. See, white people have a setting too. They have that wigger setting. See, that's not their default setting though. See, that's how they blend in and get what they need from the brothers, and then be on their way. And in a few cases that I've observed growing up, access to women. Seriously, shit be funny. How is like it would take like for the average, like, and I'm not stereotyping hood dudes. It's just that I'm making an association, just like people make associations with me, except for I do it a lot better. I mean, I could say people who are lower vibrational frequency. And see, all this disclaimer shit, because because it's 2021 environment and everybody's sensitive. So let me just go ahead and stick with it. Pookie. Let's do Pookie. Yeah. Pookie sounds a lot better. It's that mentality. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong because I will give the actual hood mentality something. I will give it something. It is somewhat of a solid foundation. It's like if brothers are from the same hood, they no matter where they go in life, they will feel that brotherhood. And if there's somewhere else and they hear another brothers from that hood, and they'll congregate. See, we think brotherhood, you know, uh, the antithesis of niggerdom. We think brotherhood is something that we use against the females. All because of the social media term sisterhood, which is definitely a defined by the brothers as a union of sisters that are against the brothers. Brotherhood is something else besides that, though. Brotherhood is my ability to be able to start a conversation with another grown man in public, and we be on some chuckle shit, and then just say good day. And the reason why that is because we know behind every black man that there is a struggle. Not that I'm victimizing black men, but we as black people, we are a product of a struggle. Whether we like it or not, whether some of us have made some money, or whether some of us have yet to make some money, we're all a part of a struggle. And the fact that a lot of us don't realize that is disheartening. It really is. And it's a continued struggle when we continue to do it to ourselves. Now, the whole just is I don't know. Yeah, when I come up with these topics, I hope you guys are just really getting something out of it. If not, is I am happy if I'm able to speak with you guys this way. Cause I mean, it's not easy as a black person. It really isn't. It's not. It's not easy for any of us black folks. I mean, every day is an adventure. I would say every day is an adventure. But we 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 all have the strength and the tenacity to hang on to it. And when we have our people that are willing to just throw it away for a environment of fuckery and ratchetness and drama and even dishonor and death, it should be hurtful. Everybody thinks that these terms and these emotions have been used to be shame people so much to the point where we have to re-normalize it. I'm not, because see, everybody associate emotion with crying. You can't even get mad legitimately for anybody anything anymore. Like but I mean, we really need to work on that. We really need to work on that. When someone being emotional is not always a bad thing. Someone being sensitive is. Here's what I find out with people that default to the nigga setting. Just imagine if I went in like the hood, like G was talking last night. He was saying something about we can't really say anything about the hood unless we put boots to the ground and go talk to them brothers. Okay, all right. Let me put you like this. Let me reference Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown, like he said that as a person who been in that situation, that has had outreach come out to him, he said that shit doesn't work. He said it doesn't work. I mean, and that may be his experience. It might have worked in other experiences. But imagine me going in front of a bunch of guys I don't know. Let me tell you something. I'll never forget this as long as I live. I was on a weed run in like 1999. I was on a weed run in 1999. Dude sent me over homeboy house, one of his homies, and he called him. He supposedly called him and told him I was coming. So I walk up and knock on the door. He's like, "Who is it?" I was like, "My name Kevin Martin." You know, this motherfucker came to the door, supposedly a gun tucked behind his back, but He wanted me to see his gun. I was like, oh, okay, so if he decides to, I could be dead. Just if he decides he wants to do that. I was like, damn, we doing it like that now? It was kind of hood. He didn't know me. But here's the thing. Why does, why would anyone glorify a lifestyle like that? I understand that some people, and I don't like the no choice narratives because there were some bad decisions that were made along that way. But hey, you know what? It could have been plenty of times where I could have died going into the hood. So imagine me going to armed teenagers saying, "My brother, you need to go home." I've heard this expression used: "Smack them in the head, make them do better." Yeah, smack an armed teenager in the head. Shoot, I'll try to convince them to tell my wife I love her, tell my kid that I tried. Like, for real, that's literally what we face when we go out there. All because they didn't have a foundational system of guidance. Because and we can't talk about these things, but we got to be the ones to fix that shit. Because when you raise your child, you default it to a nigga setting on the kid. That is the worst. That is one of the worst things you can do. We as a community need to penalize parents that do poorly with their kids, but we don't. What we try to do is we play this dog and pony shit for white folks, for other groups of people. Oh man, if we gotta respect people to respect if we expect people to respect us, we gotta respect each other. I mean, you respect each other because you do it for us. You do it for the culture. That's what Kevin Kelly, that kitchen and cocktails restaurant down in Texas was saying. When all the women decided to twerk in that restaurant when he talked to them twice, please don't do it. He had to change his tone. He said, I do this for the culture. I wanted us to have something nice, some place nice to eat. And this man is he's a lawyer with a huge law firm. My thing is we need brothers like that. A lot of people always talking about all these brothers that ain't got shit going. Oh, these brothers are defeated. But when you see brothers doing something, what y'all want to do? Y'all want to twerk on his damn furniture. Y'all want to twerk pressed up against glass. Yeah, women, like when I say the N word thing, I don't mean the men, just the men. I mean the women too. Shit. They came for all of us with that word. Yet still, you want to act like one? A black person can tell you that, whether you want to believe that or not. A black person can tell another black person. Niggas don't think so. You do it for us. You don't do it because other groups will respect you. We can't be dumbasses. We can't. And what's wrong with me saying that to other black people? To niggas. Yeah, let me go ahead and let me go ahead and smack him in the head a couple times. See how long that lasts. Go home, man. Pull your pants up, goddammit. Why don't y'all fucking raise your kids? I mean, shit. I have to raise my kid. Shit. That's how it is. That's what parenting is. I know some of y'all is like, man, well, you need to get these fathers to be there for their kids. Well, stop fucking niggas. See, every time we offer a solution, we get that nigga response. I mean, shit. Well, if you've been on social media long enough, hell, if you've had to chat with family members, all our family ain't perfect. A lot of us got issues in our families, and you'll see the resistance. It's like you're talking to a wall. Yet and still, they be the first ones to bring up that black racist. All like, oh, this guy's racist. Every time something happened to him on a job, Man, them motherfuckers out there was racist. Every time they get pulled over by the cops, every time they run a red light, them cops fucking with me. They're racist. And, I understand that there are times, there were many injustices that were perpetrated on us by the police, but that was the whole point. Everything's an injustice only when it impacts you. But were you on your best behavior when that happened? Were you doing the professional, manly thing when it happened? Or did you default to the nigga said? If you can't do it for black, all I'm saying is, if you can't do it for black people, then it is, and you put on a dog and pony show for everybody else. You be the fakest nigga in the world. It just is. Don't be fake. I'm not trying to stop you from being who you are, but don't be fake. Shoot. Oh yeah, because actually being fake is yeah. All right. Anyway, okay, got 26 watching. Hopefully, there are likes to match. Toya the Tutor, how are you doing today? Street Fighter 88, Shantastic Trill TV. Go check her out. Yeah, she has a YouTube channel. Yeah. Hybrid Impact 83, what's going on? I'm listening. Hybrid Ninja Perspective. Meet Hybrid Impact 83. Alonzo the All Star. Alonzo Hall, the All Star Advisor. Go check him out. Very useful stuff. Stuff that could affect and impact your life in a positive way. He really he'll tell you everything about life insurance. That's his life. So check him out as well. Who else is it? Tall guy. Yes. Guess that means you're over 6 feet. What's going on, tall guy? No such thing as the N word. The origin of the word is niggas, which means royalty. White people turn it into a negative. Don't be bamboozled or brainwashed. Also, broccoli is man-made. All right, let's see. Phil Brad, what's going on? Juan G's, Absalom Pianki. Man, tall guy. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about a mentality that is widespread. I keep people in mind. Now, whatever facts that exist, yes, those remain. But you have to understand that we did attach these labels to something that has been interwoven into our culture over here in the United States of America. So that's where I'm coming from. I'm basing it on something. I'm not pulling it out of my ass. And if anybody wants to deny what I am saying, they can come up to the panel and challenge me on it. Period. I'm that kind of guy from now on. I was that kind of guy before, but I don't think I've been verbal enough with that. So, I mean, and don't come up here with that the manosphere is dumb shit. I don't want to hear that fucking shit. Learn how to create some real content. Those of you that for real like that would be doing that kind of thing. Shit. I mean, I have to be creative and come up with every one of these topics. I mean, I said nigga setting off the top of my head the other night, and I'm just like, oh wow, nigga setting. That sounds clever. So, I mean, but y'all guys know what I'm talking about. It's like when you get somebody to try to talk to you like a real person, but they want to be just, man, why you so square, man? Come on, Lysol, shit like that. All right, so anyway, yeah. Let's get into some of these comments. See if there's anybody that I missed. Juan G's, Anthony Drosos, Sarah from the past. Always good to see you. Always good. Hurry up and buy it. What's going on? Hybrid Ninja Perspective. It's more of that we was Kane's talk. Oh, you must be talking about tall guy. Yeah, I mean, I'm open to all perspectives. I mean, it's like but I'll tell you what though, I'll take that over some of the shit I've seen. This is ridiculous. Some of the shit I've seen is ridiculous. It's like and no to directly address tall guy. No, I'm not fooled. I'm anything but fooled. People may think I'm fooled, but see that's a plan of mine. So beware. Always, there's always a logic to it. No matter what. Even if I'm being quiet, there's a logic to it. So however you perceive that. But we know what the N word means over here in America, and if you're not angry when you hear in particular, a Caucasian person say Nigger, you are either not from here or you are a COON. Because it's going to anger you. Is like it's. I mean, and sometimes it's that I'm starting to kind of view that a little bit. There's no excuse for a white person to ever use that word, but the reaction from the actions I've seen as of late, a lot of that would seem like fake outrage because it's like the more and more you act against our people, does that really matter? Does a word really matter? The more and more you act against our people. Remember, if you are a person that is like that, if you're not a person that is like that, I'm not talking to you. But for some of the actions that I see, like what would be worse than what would be worse than a white person saying the N word? Okay, that a black person can do, like a black person murdering another black person in cold blood. You know, just ask yourself that question, and I don't expect an answer. Would you take an N word from a white person, or could you bear the thought of a black person killing another black person in cold blood? Now think about that. Now think about how some of these people out here roll in the. I mean, and they say the hood. They say the hood more than I say the hood. How they roll in the hood. How some people be dying in the hood. Now, would any of those guys be mad at a white person for um, saying the N word? The answer is yes, they should be mad. They should be upset. Just like anybody black that hears that. Yeah, they should be upset. So it is a bad thing for a white person to do. But if they're going around killing other black people, I hope they eat each other. Let's just be clear on that. I hope they eat each other. Seriously. Just both to me are counterproductive. But to a vagrant type with melanin skin, yeah, that person still should be upset that a white person says the N word. Even though they may be acting like one, then still. That's the understanding that I want all our people to have. Let's start right there. And maybe we can build from there. Hybrid Ninja's perspective is just a word. We have more serious issues. I agree with that. I agree with that. But if one was in front of you and said the N word, well, how would you react? I don't expect you to answer that. Uh, Glamorized criminal culture promoted in hip hop. Yeah, that was by design. The thing is this: if once you identify a problem, once you identify a problem, and you understand and recognize that it's a problem, guess what? You can now start to work on the solution. What I need to for guys to understand is that those are just guys that are out there trying to make money. Those images are pushed by the record labels. We bring these kinds of things to the conversation We do. We bring these kinds of things to the conversation, but we can't turn our backs on the people that say, "Hey, you know what? We may need to be able to. We may need as a people to gain control of those forms of media, so we can plug in the messages that we want to plug into these kids. Like, like they won't reject it. It just has to sound like if they like. This is what I talk about sometimes when I say, "Why don't you take uh, techniques from groups that are winning?" You could, and hip hop was going in that direction for a second. Like they would have the positive PSA rap songs. I'm not saying we gonna go back to that because our mind has like our perceptions have changed radically about drug use. I'm just saying that's what it boils down to is drug use. But we I mean they was starting to use rap for that kind of thing. You would have people like that. You would have more cautionary rap out there. Back when I was a teenager. Now is about bullshit today in today's culture, and that does, and people have to understand that has a profound influence. I mean, someone was like in the comments of last night's broadcast was asking, how did the conversation shift to entertainment? The thing is cultural impact. Cultural impact is, see, remember when I said earlier that we as a people we are trendsetters. All the cool stuff come from us. Well, stuff come at us too. you know they use they what they can do, they can take a piece of our culture. I'm gonna give you a little tidbit. They can take a piece of our culture, dress it up with a black person, but instead of messages that are good, the guy spits out messages that are bad. So the guy that was doing it with messages that are good looks like the guy that was doing it with messages that are bad. And then, but what they do is they take that cool part, they multiply the bad message by like 5, 10, 15, 20 fold, and then they get that shit to your kids. Same look with the good message, but hey, with the bad message. I don't know if y'all followed that. I think that's what, not think. Well, it boils down. Yeah, I think that's what Mike was trying to say last night. Besides the money part, because yeah, it's a revenue that generates billions and billions of dollars in our company, in our country, and yes, if we do have these millionaire black entrepreneurs, we need to know who these people are. So, like, black people, yeah, I would say we probably need to start reading magazines like Black Enterprise a lot more. But that, but push like seeking knowledge for images like that does not get rid of the problem. The problem is there's a lot of undisciplined babies out here that have adopted a culture that came through because people wanted to default to the nigga said. Y'all made nigga them look cool, and now is out of control. Man, watch the news. People act so uninformed. It'd be some messed up shit happening on the news in our community. But, we try to discard that and act like what happens to problems when you ignore them? They escalate. And that is what has happened here. So anyway, full hour. Full hour. Hybrid Impact 83, those days are over. Yeah, the positive messages. Even like people like I would say like people like Queen Latifah, uh yeah, she was trying to put out positive message. UNITY, but UNITY was more of a feminist message. That was more feminist message. But yeah, yeah, there are some examples. But people are not gonna buy it anymore. If someone tried to come out with some positive rap today, people wouldn't buy it. It would seem whack and corny to the majority of the African diaspora that resides in the Western culture. Since y'all don't want to call it a community, we can just go ahead. I'll just go ahead and get gratuitous with the names. All good suggestions. I will say, yeah, take all of them. We need to do everything. How much of the problem? I mean, the problem will eventually die out. Hopefully, hopefully. I mean, we just got to be able to understand that we can't we can't really look at ourselves as less. I believe that generally we do as a people. I mean, the black we can use examples such as the black-owned business. We use examples such as how we perceive ourselves as black men and black women. It's not pretty at all. It's not pretty at all. I mean, it's like there are black men and black women that love each other and just want everything to chill. But see, they all those black men and black women that don't. Drama queens, pookies. It ain't all Pookie fault, but just saying. And Anthony Drosos. Back in my youth, KRS-One and Public Enemy helped me through some tough times. Fight the power that be. Self destruction. You're headed for self destruction. Remember they had the East Coast and the West Coast unity rap because the East Coast was led by Boogie Down Productions. Self destruction. You're headed for self destruction. You know, Public Enemy was in that one. Then they did a West Coast. You know, with NWA in it and various artists from the West Coast. Talking about we're all in the same gang. I mean, the younger ones wouldn't remember that, but when you hear these references, there's something that you have called Google and a YouTube search engine. Whenever you get the time, I mean, not now, obviously. I want you to watch the broadcast. Go ahead, Google self destruction KRS-One. I forgot what they named the Unity effort. The Unity effort is like I think it's various artists. They just named it various artists, and just type we're all in the same gang NWA. Yeah, yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's just like they actually tried to push a positive message because things were getting out of control in various lower income black neighborhoods. And yeah, it's the income disparity that breeds this kind of frustration, and frustration breeds violence. Nobody's discounting that. It's just that when I speak of them, I would like for people to understand that there is the variable called human choice, and we have to make better decisions. You can't get mad and all pissy because people say, "Hey, you know what? Let's make some better decisions." LL Cool P, ladies love Cool Pookie. Yeah, LL Cool J, he wasn't really on that positive stuff like that. He was just trying to be cool, James. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah. But yeah, we probably never get that back. We probably never get the we'll probably never get that positive rap back, and I don't know if I even want it like that. I mean, who would do that rap? Young Thug. Young Thug be sounding like a cat dying. Like I don't want to hear a cat dying trying to have some peace and unity effort. All right, hold on one second. I gotta send a message out. Let's see. Shoot, maybe Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar would be real good with something like that. Kendrick Lamar. What I will say about this, and I know I'm like a couple years late when I say this. The Black Panther soundtrack was phenomenal. Yeah, it was one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard. Seriously, I mean, it for the genre of music, just for the movie itself, I felt the soundtrack brought the movie up that much more. I mean, that soundtrack was the shit. Who doesn't agree? And who has heard that soundtrack? Yeah, make sure I have this right. Okay. Young and little, all the new rappers act like boys. Yeah. Hey, what about old boy though? Like when it's like I would like on social media, I would see articles on these guys or I'll see memes with these guys in it. And I don't even know they rappers half the time. And one thing that I want everyone to understand is that they are going to the hood to get the drug dealers with a little rhythm, and they're calling them rappers. They want the music form of hip hop stamped out. They don't want positive messages getting to you. Like, what the fuck? Like, spot 'em, got 'em. Like, who is this guy? Who are half of these guys? I don't know. It's something I'm missing. Maybe it's like I don't know. Maybe they put shit out on Spotify or whatever, and then they're this huge rapper, and then all of a sudden they're getting killed. Why? Because they're getting them out the hood because they don't want a positive image of a rapper. This motherfucker got a money phone. He like these dudes got tons of cash. They just flashing and flashing. I said that's why these guys be getting shot because they so flashy. And then like those same homies they came up with in the hood, the guys that's supposed to be just like them because Lord knows, my archetype who doesn't have the nigga setting can't go around those guys. The guys they down with, once one of them start to try to make it out, they get jealous of that man and they pop him, shoot the dude, pop smoke, same way, shot. It was a couple songs I liked before I even knew who that man was. It was one song I didn't. I used to turn from it every time they came on. I was like, fuck this song. Still is. Alright. Now, before I open up this panel, I just got one more question. What's a real nigga? I think I asked this question before. I think I had a broadcast. I always say I think. I should know that I had a broadcast. That's like, what's a real nigga? Now, that's one of the most common niggas saying, what's a real? I'm a real nigga. I don't know. I don't know. As a grown man, I just don't think you should say that. Yeah, I mean, use it if you want to. I ain't trying to curb anybody's freedom of free speech or anybody's ability to be brutally honest. If you feel like you're a real nigga, yeah, go right ahead. I mean, it's something that, on the outside looking in, it looks highly entertaining. Like most rappers call themselves real niggas. It's something that it was like that. What I was trying to say earlier, how the association of ignorance is always associated with race. So it looks real funny that if an Asian guy goes around and calls himself a real nigga, I don't know. I just never liked that term. I would never call myself a real nigga. What I like going around saying it around people. I'm a real nigga. I can't. It doesn't even sound right coming out of my mouth. Let me say it again. I'm a real nigga. See, doesn't sound natural at all. I'm a real nigga. I'm okay. I'm trying. I'm trying to sound natural. I'm a real nigga. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I can't do it. It's just odd to me. Like I said, I don't have a nigga setting. I'm a real nigga. And see, it come no matter how I try to say that shit, it just comes out funny. I can't do it. I can't do it. And I mean, like, if you can do it, it doesn't make you blacker than me if you can say it without, if you can say it without restraint, if you can say it and sound absolutely 100% normal. I'm not being condescending. I'm just saying that okay. Let me be straight up. Let me use my best my best diction and try to say it to where it sounds somewhat correct. I'm a real nigga. See, still, I'm a real nigga. I'm trying. I'm trying. Like, whew, man, it's just exhausting. It's like it's something I gotta practice. I mean, it shouldn't be that complicated. Like, I don't like. Let me try again. Let me try again. I'm a real nigga. That's not. It's not believable. I'm sorry. I can't be nobody but Kev. That I tried. For those of you out here who might be a bit disappointed that oh, does the Kev might have a little hood in him after all? Nah, it's not. For people who are watching, I just don't believe that's gonna happen. I just don't believe that's gonna happen. You know, sorry to disappoint you. And then some of you out there saying that but the white folk think you a nigga. Why can't you be a nigga? No, no. Especially because of that shit. When people say that, when the white they use that in the same breath, the white folks gonna think you a nigga, and you I mean, you playing into their hands, playing into their hands. Hybrid Impact 83. I looked it up. So many rappers have died by the gun. Yep, it's such an easy instrument to use. I would say. I mean, point blank. Now you trying to if you're trying to hit a target from if you're trying to hit a target from like if you're trying to hit a bird's beak from 30 feet away, then that's something different. But point blank, yeah, it's pretty easy. Seems like it's something pretty easy to use. It's like rarely would you find in a murder story involving a gun that they say that the person is an expert marksman. Yeah, people don't fight no more. All they do is shoot. All they do is shoot. Yeah, that's a nigga setting right there. If your first instinct is to shoot, man, like I said, I had people tell me before they would shoot me, before they would fight me. I'm like, God damn, you would take my life? Yeah, man, I'll be scared. Admit they scared. Pookie type niggas. Man, I wouldn't even fight you, man. I would shoot you. I'm a real nigga. What does that even mean at that point? How you a real nigga if you afraid to fight? Oh, like the real niggas, the real niggas, man. As soon as somebody want to swing at them, oh shit, here we go. Let me go get the gun. Like nigga be younger than you. Tragedy. Tragedy. I'm a real nigga. I want y'all to put that on a job application. Like shit. I'm not saying that you're not gonna get the job, but all I will say is this: if I had a if I had to bet a stack of hundreds on anything, I would bet it on you not getting that job. Like, yeah, man. But just people be on some clown shit. Like people be on some clown shit, and I mean, like, you got to care about your public perception to an extent. Like, when I say stuff like when you got to represent the culture and you have to, act accordingly. I'm not saying that, you know to do it for other groups of people, to do it for Asians, to do it for whites, to do it for Hispanics, for to do it for Middle Eastern people, um, you know, Eskimos. Yeah, 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 real niggas, Eskimos. I'm not saying do it for them. I think I made it quite clear, and I will specify again. You do it for us. You do it for us. You do it. You do it for us. You do it for the culture. You conduct yourselves accordingly for the culture. There should be a penalty. Like, what we need to do is we need to get back to these shaming campaigns we had. Let me give an example of a shaming campaign that actually worked. Back in the 80s, men and women united together, in solidarity to decide that we will all make fun of hair weave. Dead ass. Dead ass. We all joked on that shit. Then TLC came out with a song called "I'm Pretty." You can buy your hair if it won't grow. And then that birthed the movement of "Not Without My Weave." All these niggas don't know how to talk about his weave. Yeah, yeah, it devolved to that. Yeah, some of these things took years to develop. I mean, we was making parody songs on hair weave and all that stuff. I know that. I know that touches a lot of you females out there who have to use it as protective styling, as you say. Well, for some reason, women back in the day knew how to take care of their hair better than you girls. Sorry. I know some of y'all like, y'all ain't traditional men anymore. I'm like, shit, raise one, dumbass. Shoot, stop raising real niggas. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Drop this link one time. Drop this link one time. But, nobody comes up. I think I've said enough for tonight. Shit. I am tired as fuck. I'm so tired that I cannot find anything else to talk about speaking of this subject. I mean, it's all good, but some subject matter you can only stretch out so far. I mean, the thing is, when you're talking to people who act like they got some sense, there's not really that much to say. I will say that because they understand as well as you. So, indeed, I understand that some of y'all have jobs tomorrow, and then I'll try to do this prime time. And what I'm going to attempt to do tomorrow night is try to do it marathon style if I can free myself up at all to do it. If I get too tired, it won't be a marathon. Marathon style means like running for like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. The longest show I ever ran was like a 7.5 hour show. There's really no need to run that long. It really isn't. But that if you have a panel, you can do it because you're not doing all the work. You're not. You're not doing all the work. But still, I'm the host. I have to be fully participative. I mean, what should the topic be on? I might run a poll tomorrow. What my topic should be tomorrow night. I'll do more interaction like that. Yeah, cause here's the thing. I'm gonna start talking about not having a nigga setting, and I'm not gonna use it as a complaint either. I'm gonna use it as a benefit and advantage. I mean, you ain't gotta be ashamed of people saying that you talk white, because see, the the nigga setting. uh, let me see. I got somebody in the back. I got a little distracted because if somebody tell you talk white and you don't have a nigga setting, you can just say you talk like a nigga, and it burn their shit up every fucking time. Hold on one second. I ain't never seen you before, Ian Graves. Put up an overlay. All right, cool. What's going on, Ian?
Peace.
Peace. What you got to say?
I ain't even hear what the whole show was about exactly, but I saw the nigga setting, so what I'm saying. I kind of maybe have an idea. Um, yeah, I was just going over this, just sharing an article in Atlanta. This chick at the Waffle House pulled a gun on the dude because she got his order wrong on the eggs. He checked her. She pulled a gun on him. Black chick did. You know what I mean?
What?
Um,
So an employee got a gun pulled up on him.
no, the
Bec-
employee, the sister is the employee. She pulled the gun on the black dude at the customer because he complained.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah. Cause what? Got the eggs wrong? Like.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
She
mm,
got the
mm.
order wrong. He checked her. She pulled the gun on him.
Oh, common sense is not that common. And I'm willing to bet these odds 100%. I bet you it was a job she applied for.
It's a Waffle House.
Yeah, it's a Waffle House. Yeah, it was a Waffle House. No, I'm just saying. No, no. I mean, that's. I already know that. But I mean, why would you let it get to you that bad? Now, like I said, I cooked for years, and I cussed some folks out, throughout my years. But it never occurred to me to pull a gun on someone. It
Yeah.
never should occur to anybody with any kind of common goddamn sense, to pull a gun on anybody. But that's what I'm talking about. That mentality, that nigga setting, that default to being that kind of person.
Yeah.
And it's like we need to work on being better with that. I say we because like I say, it's our people. You
Hmm.
know, that ain't shit I gotta work on personally because I mean shit. I'm not gonna go around doing stupid shit all the time. And we have this capacity to embrace stupid shit. We embrace it as entertaining. We enable it. We justify it, and we encourage it to move along. I mean, the ratchet fuckery of it all.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying it should stop. I'm saying that there is a devastating effect,
Hmm.
and that's something that we should be mindful of as a people. So, like, don't ever discount it or ever try to turn your back on it or ignore it. That's all I would say at the end of the day. And most of all, make sure your kids aren't impacted by it. Your kids that you produce, not someone else's kids.
Right.
you know.
Right. Right. I mean, but my point in saying that with the nigga setting, I think that setting is instituted by black women. I think that the ratchet culture, the nigga culture, is set up by black women. You know, I think, but not for black women, we wouldn't have that setting. You know what I mean? And it's not a judgment, but it's more of a just an observation. You know what I'm saying? Men are required to be men. You know what I'm saying? In society, you know what I'm saying?
By
So
default. By
by
default.
you know what I'm saying? We're required to be men, and if we're not men, we either homeless or we locked up. So
Or
what
we
we
or we are penalized severely socially There's
Yeah.
no enabling failure within a black man.
Yes.
Failure would get us shamed completely.
Yes, yes. So the development of nigger culture can only come and can only be enabled through the female because she has the time and she goes unchecked for it to for it to grow unchecked. You know what I'm saying? It can't grow through the men. You know what I'm saying? That's impossible. It can only grow through the females.
Silent Lamont, in all fairness, you can speak properly without sounding like a valley girl. I mean, yeah, yeah, but what is sounding like a valley girl? Like that? Uh, I I I've heard black women speak like that sometimes,
Hmm.
and it usually be the feminists when they're talking to white women. They try to do that little valley girl that bullshit.
Hmm.
Uh, Yeah, like that little giggly kite stuff. They also kind of try to do it for their white boyfriends. When that is the case, I mean, just based on the videos that I observed, some of that they don't go with that hood hard masculine shit toward that those guys. Yeah, but yeah, all right. Well, shout out to Silent Lamont.
Hmm.
But yeah, it seems as if we associate civil behavior such as speech dialect with that community, and then the more harsher stuff we associate it with us. Is it because we believe that's the cool thing to do?
You saying as far as the speech?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, particularly, I mean, in this day and time, I really don't see much of a drawback in terms of people's speech. I think a lot of times, even the kids, that are from a lot of the um, impoverished backgrounds, poor neighbors, they can speak fine. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily think that is an issue in terms of being able not to speak properly. I see a lot of folks coming out the ghetto that can speak more proper than folks that otherwise come from more fluent backgrounds. So that maybe at one point was a stigma, but I don't think you can determine that okay, this person is this kind of person based on their speech anymore,
No,
because
no,
I
no, no, no,
see a lot
now,
of
now,
ratchets speaking proper these days.
now the social hood perception mentality. We know what that is, but yeah, is like every time like you get like a Ricky type, I would say that stay in the hood. I mean, you'll get those types. The perception automatically is, he a good guy. He ain't want to. Is that separation automatically, and that's where it begins. It's
Hmm.
like the separation really doesn't need to be there. It needs to be a little bit more brotherhood. I would say. I mean, I'm not saying that you gotta kiss every black man ass or whatever, or but it would be cool to say that we could be on some kind of code, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
But there's a lot of problem with that. I mean, I've explained it many times in the past. I said a lot of it is Highlander complex, the HNIC complex.
Hmm.
That what personality they want to dominate, and yeah, the female. As the female usually rewards the. Well, I wouldn't even say that. Like there are females that like nerd types. Like I would say, but when I say stuff like that, I reduce it to the general perception. We know me and you people like me and you know that what things really are.
Hmm.
So when I say hood types, I don't really mean that everybody that comes out of the hood is a violent, vagrant thug. I'm not gonna say that at all. I mean, there are some hoods that are they just look kind of hoodish because they're just older neighborhoods. I
Hmm.
mean, with plenty of good, productive people in it.
Hmm. Hmm.
So but the sometimes we submit to those stereotypes, and
Mhm.
our perceptions are kind of whack. I would say so. But when I speak of such, I speak of it in terms where generally everyone can understand. Because when I do speak like more of a, I start using certain words and everything. A lot of people who are on that nigga setting, they get triggered. No, no, serious man. They like he think he's smart. So I have to consider everyone in mind. The audience itself, like I said, maybe not necessarily the audience that is watching now.
Mhm.
Because like I said, anyone that's willing to tolerate me for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, really must understand what I'm saying. So they it's cool in that aspect, but for people who may be hitting the replay, you have to talk in general terms.
Well, I
You
mean,
know,
but that's, I mean, the problem I'm saying, just like the way that you talk, you just basically you talk like an old Southerner. You know what I'm saying?
so yeah,
I mean, I
and there are
mean,
people.
I mean, but what I'm saying is, an old Southerner means you don't know whether or not if you hear if if someone's listening to you on the phone, you can't tell whether you're white or whether you're black because it's just a dialect. But I think when we get into the nigga speak, you know what I'm saying, that comes with a whole different kind of mindset that's not necessarily based on economics because you got poor Southerners that speak proper English. You know what I'm saying? And they sound like white folks. But I think it has to do with a certain culture that's not necessarily based on economics, but I think it's surrounded again. I think it's surrounded by black women. Black women are the poison. You know what I'm saying? That's poisoning everything that we do wrong, from language to family to everything. The women, the black women are the ones that are naming their kids, you know, I'm a doer. You know what I'm saying? That's coming from black women. Black women
uh,
are fucking
decode
up
this,
speech.
decode this. uh, I like I mean, I know you know what I'm talking about. Decode this Crawford.
Mm,
I was like, man, he couldn't be nothing but an athlete. It's like just. But I don't know, man. My whole goal is to one of the visions that I see is to do away with that kind of thing. You
mhm.
know, if stereotypes bother us so much, why not just do away with them? You know what I'm saying? If it's to our benefit to help us like go further in American culture, why not do away with it? I mean, we do have plenty of great things to identify with as black people. We are, like I said, we're the trendsetters. But you know, a lot of these real niggas, and I will give this to you, they do it for the pussy.
Mhm.
They do it for the pussy. They
Mhm.
do it like they put the pussy at the top of everything.
Mhm.
And I've said this: sex is good, pussy is good, yes, definitely, but it's like it can't be at the top of the list of everything. It can't be. It's like, God damn, that bitch disrespected me like that. You still fuck her though. I'm like, sure, but she ain't gonna disrespect me. It's like shit. Like it's like that. It's like that, and it's like that real nigga culture. Got that bit is a product of baby mama culture because you can't say that you can't say that one exists without the other.
Right.
Yeah, it's like the nurturing part comes from the mom, and everybody. Well, people say, well, the father isn't there, and everything like that. But who is the dad? What archetype is he? Like let's see who he is, and like the decision that was made to procreate with that guy. I want to see the logic in it.
Mhm.
And if he's one of those pookster types, then
Mhm.
I'll see. Then and there's really nothing they can say at all. I mean, if he was somebody who turned his life around and he's a business exempt, but he started off as a pookster type, then that'll explain everything. But if he started out as, like, I would say, a business exec, and then he abandons his responsibility, as they say, then their shit would hold water. But most of them types of guys that they fool with that ain't there, them guys are kind of they they're not good people. Like, they're not good guys, and you are who you pretty much sleep with, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
And if you don't put the time in to nurture your child, you're just continuing that cycle.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I'm not.
Like I said, that's what it is. But like you said, that baby mama culture is cross economic. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, even middle class blacks will fall down into that bracket if they have single mother surroundings going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a matter of just being poor. It's just a matter of being in a trap of this single motherhood, which again is the poison that poisons all the level of education and societal standards that we should have. That's just what it is.
Oh, okay. Hey, Village Arsonist just came up. What's going on?
What's going on? Okay, y'all black and white over here? I thought y'all was moving back, big dog. Hang on, man. I thought we could be cool, man. If y'all, hey, I can't go against a lot of Kevin Nash and them, but I thought y'all were red and black over here, man.
Red and black.
I thought y'all were red. Hey, hang on, man. I thought we could be cool. No, I'm just messing. But hey, shout out to you ain't shit for watching, man. That motherfucker's funny, man. Y'all be sure to check out his channel, man. That dude is hilarious. But Kevin, you trying to get in trouble, man? You trying to get in trouble calling up this nigga shit? Uh,
Yeah. Shit.
that'll get you targeted. That'll get you targeted. They're gonna be some niggas.
Hey,
They're
man.
gonna be some niggas.
No, I mean, I'm already targeted, man. It's just sometimes a chill, sometimes a high alert. I just have to be ready for all of it.
Mm.
I mean, but when you're given a perspective that not everyone agrees with and people want to push back on, you are going to meet with certain challenges, and that's just something that we got to be ready for. And a lot of these niggas out here ain't ready for that shit. That's why they have all these little stupid, childish, knee jerk reactions. Because not the critical thinking skill to be able to deal with it. What we want to do is we want to save who we can. That's what we want to do.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
basically, I agree with you, man. Of course, there's some of us that disagree and anything.
I
You
mean,
keep it
feel
real,
free.
pretty much. No, I mean, you pretty much keep it real, man. From what I can see, as far as black people, is one of the reasons I rock with you. A lot of people are just scared to speak the truth, and a lot of black people don't understand that not every black person. Look, I understand crews exist. I understand that black people have this hesitance to trust a black person that's criticizing them because you do have the Larry Elder types. I don't like to do it. I don't know how y'all feel about. I don't like niggas like that, okay. I
What
understand black
say?
people. Go ahead.
What'd you say? Repeat that. You kind of muffled.
Larry Elder. I don't like Larry Elder. I don't like dudes like him, and I understand why black people have their defenses up when it comes to black guys like that because for black people like that because there are black people that criticize black people not for the sake of trying to make black people better. They're doing it to entertain a certain other demographic.
Yeah,
Okay,
I get
I
that.
mean,
I get that
right,
completely.
right. So I mean, I think, but black people just need to understand there's a difference. You got black people like those like yourself who criticize black people out of love. If I'm not mistaken, you have black kids. So it's
Uh,
like, aren't you married? So it's like, I mean, I don't. You got a lot of brothers in this sphere that have black children. They have BGS. You got all, but they criticize black people. How do you hate black people? But I'm out here having black kids, raising black kids, putting them through college, grandkids, but I hate black people. No, there's a difference, and I think it's time for black people to learn how to discern the two.
Mm.
yeah. We then when we try to do things like that, we hide behind this little cutesy, black is beautiful. These are the images we don't want anybody to see. But when when the shit hits the fan, then how much of it could have been prevented if we had just adopted a better mentality. There, one thing that people forget: there's always the factor of human choice. Is there human choice? Once we identify a problem, then we can solve it. We can start working on what we can to solve it. And I believe and I'm not saying this to criticize anybody's channel in particular. I think we get lost on that quite a bit in this space. I think we do, and yeah, it is like I've watched the spaces where things would just completely melt down, and and it's like I just be kind of watching it. It's like, what is this getting any kind of done? It's like, is this our version of bar fights? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, just the constant bickering and the constant nigga shit, the 13th grade shit. It does get old. I understand every now and then. You want to be entertainment, okay, fine, but I just wish black people would use social media not just for entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Social media has so much more potential. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When you have a platform that has the outreach such as this, especially when you start to get in the algorithm, you have a chance to get a message out there that can reach many people, and
Yeah.
especially if you execute it in its proper manner, of course.
Yeah.
But some people just want to just uh, entertainment. Nothing's wrong with entertainment. That's why I
No,
try to
not at
call.
all.
Yeah, but but when it I'm not trying to have the Real Housewives of Atlanta on my
Right,
on my
right,
broadcast, you know.
right.
And,
Well,
and
not
this is
every damn day. You know what I'm saying? Not every day, all the time.
sometimes you gotta check a motherfucker. Sometimes you gotta
Right,
check a
right,
mdon't you
right.
know. But it's
But
like,
that picture of Denzel kills me every time you put it up, bro. Like I don't know what the hell he was doing in that shot. My bad, bro.
yeah, I just put up them pictures to break the monotony a little bit. But yeah,
Hey,
yeah. Ian, I see you back up.
Yeah.
hey, my
Okay.
man, Ian, what's up, brother? I didn't mean to step on anybody, brother. I didn't mean to. What's going on, man? I'm not familiar with y'all. I don't think we've talked before, but good to see you, man.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
But yeah, hey, Kel, I just wanted to jump up, man. I'm not gonna hold you, man. I'm about to jump in the truck, but hey, man, appreciate you letting me up, man. Shout out to you, support for the manosphere, man. Y'all support the channel, man. Hit the like button, man. Kevin, one of the real ones, bro. Shout out to Roger Report too, man. I actually just started watching a few of his videos as well, but they just seem to keep snatching his shit, man. People shit just getting snatched out of here, man. So that's another thing. Real quick, man. Back your channels up, guys. Start backing your shit up, man. Get them secondary channels up and popping. They're snatching people shit out of you, man.
Yeah,
Just make a couple backups, man.
yeah. And I have a backup channel as well, so I'll put the link in the. I'll go ahead and start making it my business. Put the links in the descriptions, important links in the description, so y'all know where to go. Cause you never know. I mean, as hard as I worked on this channel right here, it might get snatched. So and
Right,
it just
right.
So I mean, I'm not gonna give up. There's always an opportunity to start over. Shit, you might do better than you did the first time. So yeah, if you are a content creator, yeah, get them backup channels. Definitely, that was a great piece of advice. So thank you, Village Arsonist. I really appreciate you telling people that.
Hey, man, keep it rocking, big dog. Y'all be safe, man.
All
All
right,
right, Pete.
yeah, be safe out there. That was the Village Arsonist TV. Definitely check him out. Like, he has some short videos that like I ran across him because he came into my feed, and it was like, yeah, I mean, he's a very straightforward, direct brother. Like he speaks very strongly, but
Mhm.
we have to in these times, you know.
Yeah.
And I go and admit he's got some negative feedback from people, that were in chats and stuff. But I mean, people in chats are gonna do that. I mean, brother definitely stands on his square, like and he doesn't care what anybody thinks, as long as he believes in his heart was right. And you know what? Brothers should be like that. Brothers should be like that. Period. It just be able to stand on your square and speak for what you believe is right. So,
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that's the principle that we're missing. It's the content, but it's also the principle of men being men, and that's the immutable part. Not the disagreements with the content is one thing, but the immutable part is men being men and standing on their square. You know what I'm saying? And standing on your square should not be a reason for brothers to go to war because you got a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? What we should go to war over is if men are not being men, and just because you're successful doesn't mean you're a man. You have to have some kind of principles and some kind of standards. So so just getting a channel and just talking but without a standard and without principles to stand on, you might be successful, but you still haven't become what we need in the community. And that's a man that's stable in terms of what he provides, in terms of his thinking and his actions.
hey, here's one thing about people though, and let's go ahead and start giving people a little credit. If that's what you're on up here to do, if you're up here without purpose, for real, people usually are smart enough to figure that out. I mean, and those platforms and those channels usually don't grow, or they might have a hot streak for a little while, and then they just fizzle down.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I've seen it happen so many times. And my whole thing is I don't wish for it to see anyone give up, or lose a channel, or not have a purpose, or so to speak. But I'm also not here to tell you to have a purpose. I mean, I will not knock anyone's hustle. If they're up here saying nothing and they're clocking the dollars, I would like to know how they're clocking the dollars. It's like what are you doing that I'm not doing? And I wouldn't even be on some hating shit with that. I would really want to know. I
Hmm.
really want to know. Let's do the things that are smart. We can't shun every idea. I would say
Of course,
that. And,
of
and
course.
YouTube is a golden opportunity for anyone who is able to get up here and talk in front of people. Make a video. It's like that. But let me tell you something about that particular narrative right there. That you should be up here doing something positive. You should be up here trying to save the black community and all this other stuff. Number
Hmm.
one, we don't want to be caught up in trying to police anyone's conversation. Number two, people ain't really looking for that. They're not. I mean, people ain't really looking for that shit. When they say that to save the black community, they're looking for a reason to count their channel out. I mean, just say you like the content, or just say you don't like the content. It ain't about it ain't about like, well, we they're putting the black community on your shoulders, because for one person to do that is a huge fucking responsibility, and I'm quite sure, especially for those of us with children, we got other shit to do. Like, besides put up efforts that would get us punched in the face constantly. I mean, if that's that hill you want to down, go right ahead. And I'm not saying don't do it. I put plenty of positive messages out, and it's up to people whether they want to follow those messages or not, or apply some good common sense to your life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would never advise anyone to do anything stupid that would destroy them.
Hmm.
And our culture, those seems to be the things that are cool to a lot of people, especially our young people, doing things that destroy us. I don't want us to destroy us. I want us to do as good as possible. I
Hmm.
mean, and whether I don't like that black person or not, there's plenty of black people that I didn't like, that when their businesses or their opportunities failed, I thought it sucked. I thought it sucked because deep down, even if we didn't see eye to eye, I wanted to see them successful, because I want to see our success multiply many times. I want to see the money stay in our community. I want to see everyone that's tried, I mean, everyone that at least tries a little, get pulled up, and it's our people pulling them up.
Hmm.
That's what I want to see. And I mean, if we do have a culture of women that is doing that to their children, being the force behind the being the force behind the destruction,
Hmm.
then we have to gain the power enough to you know push it the other way. Make let like being influential enough to let them know that there's an alternative to that destructive lifestyle.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not going to any neighborhood smacking kids in the head because I like my life. I'm not going to do that. The only thing I can do is recommend that. The only thing
Yeah.
I do. The only thing I can do is recommend that you do better, and we start with the kids that are coming up right now,
Right.
because eventually them niggas gonna find themselves in the jail making shoestrings for 10 cent an hour, and then acting like niggas like me was whack. See, I slipped out. Niggas like me is whack for telling them that. You know, for
Hmm.
telling them, hey, don't end up in jail making shoestrings for 10 cent an hour. And the reason why they want you for that, your life ain't worth no more than that. They want you for that because they want to keep that job from someone who can actually use that shit to take care of their family. Because you know what? What they have to do is they have to provide a wage or a salary with some benefits and a facility that is safe to work in.
Mm.
It's like don't get tricked into being that part of the system. But for those of you who are already tricked into it, it's only a matter of time, and then we can get to being what we need to be at our full potential.
Hmm.
But if we're going, like I said, we're going to identify problems. We are going to have to we're going to have to start working on the solutions, and we can't be in denial about what those solutions are. And a lot of people believe that the solution is to divest. I mean,
You said the what now?
divest,
Oh, okay.
divest. Now, I'm not going to encourage divest. I'm not. If that's what you want to do, but why are you doing it? It's like if you're doing it for your own personal business, for your personal nuts, for your personal peace of mind, cool.
Mm.
But you can't. But seriously, you seriously don't use that. I don't know. I sound like them when I say this. You know, it's like whatever reason you're doing it for. I hope they're genuine. I'll say that because I do defend brothers that date out a lot, and the reason why I defend them is because in a lot of those cases I felt like those brothers were pushed away
Hmm.
because of the nigga shit,
Hmm.
and it's like it's also the other a big reason behind the athletes and shit is because the white schools come recruit the athletes, and instead of mommy and daddy or just mommy sending them to an HBCU, they
Well,
send them to
you made the point that the opposite is true. Is that niggas, we're not trying to be saviors of the community. The point is that when niggas do come in that are positive, those folks who are not standing on principles, they're trying to say that the positivity doesn't belong, and as you're saying that the certain standard and speech or whatever that doesn't belong here because that's not black. So that's the point. Is okay, let everybody have their let everybody eat, but let's not say that black culture or being black is about being ratchet and about being poor and about being swirlers and all that other type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, swirlers were never really considered a part of black culture, though. Those are the ones that are rejecting black culture. So, I mean, and the difference between female swirlers and guys who date out is the guys who date out are being rejected. The swirlers are rejecting.
Hmm.
So, yeah. So, those are two conundrums within themselves. But I'm about to wrap this up, man. It's
Yeah.
nearing the 2 hour mark. Um, so, anything left to say before I, like final statement before I do my final statement?
Yeah, man. It's like, we just keep up doing what you're doing, and understand, we got a ways to go, and we got to continue to build this network and support one another.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Yep. So, good to be on your show. Appreciate you having me up here. I'm usually on GG, Green Gorilla, Dr. Johnson. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, the
Uh,
PhDs.
yeah.
Yeah, those are good guys, and I mean they have definitely very interesting programming.
Mm.
I tune in to Green Gorilla and Dr. Johnson whenever I can, and I
Well,
mean
Marcus
like
Marcus said he was on your show the other day too.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I do lives with him. Every so often too. So
Oh, okay, all right. Well,
yeah.
yeah, okay. I'll be on the lookout, man, and don't. I mean, you're always welcome, just like any of you in that chat. Y'all always welcome. So,
All right,
all right,
cool, cool.
appreciate your giving us your thoughts and your perspective.
All right, keep up the good work, bro.
Well, thank you very
All right,
much.
all right, peace.
Peace. Okay, all right, guys. All right, Stoic one. See you giving them a hard time down there, man. Yeah, shout out, man. Stoic one, like he's been watching me for a while. Like he's like he been in observance of this channel's growth very often. I mean, he can confirm that for you. But yeah, appreciate having all of you around. But just remember two words when I do things like this, when I have conversations like this: common sense. Common sense will nullify most of that shit. Some of that shit is so severe, leave it alone and let it go through its cycle. And just wherever it ends up, make sure it is as far away from you as possible. Because if we are a people and we have that much pride in ourselves, we won't allow this nigga setting to dominate us and control us forever. You know? Fortunately for me, I don't have one. I don't. It just like God said, I talk like an old southerner. I mean, which is cool. I mean, I just so happen to believe that it makes me special. I said that shit a long time ago. How special that made me, but that doesn't make me better than anyone else. You know, people that call themselves real niggas I always say that. I always say that somehow I think I'm better. I don't think I'm better. I'm just like you guys, for real, for real. I just so happen to have a YouTube channel. Oh God, Shakiri, Pope, dear heart, bless her heart. But listen up, man, listen up. I'm not trying to talk down on our people. The village arsonist said that. I do it out of love for our people, and I want to see us improving. A lot of the things that I do see, I just see seemingly, for me, it just cannot be ignored. And a lot of people ask me, why do I worry about certain things? And that's why I come here. To discuss it with people who care, and I know you guys care deep down. I know you do. So it's like, yeah, I can continue. I can continue to be motivated in bringing these good messages to you guys. So I mean, just don't default to the nigga said. I mean, it's getting old. And it's getting counterproductive, and if we continue to do that, then it's going to harm us to the point where it's going to be irreversible. And a lot of us think it is irreversible. So, uh, if someone thinks that it's irreversible, pick their brain and see why. Don't just take it. Pick someone's brain. They might be on the nigga setting. And that's it for now. So anyway, Afro Troop TV, what's going on? Information Man Show. You caught me at the end of this. I am I am out of here. I'm gonna get to bed. Is shit. In fact, why don't you guys come back tomorrow night? It's, uh, so yeah, I'm famished. So, long live the habitual line steppers and Kev we trust. Till the next time.